Hey guys, it's Manulus here with No Limit and Clan 37 Nightmares. I promised you guys some attack strategy videos, and this is going to be the first one in the attack series. And it's going to cover a Town Hall 9 attack, the standard GoVaHo, but this one's going to focus on compressed bases because I want to get as specific as possible for these attack strategies. Because now, it's September right now in 2016. Attacking has got much more difficult than it has been in the past. You have to be more precise. So I'm going to keep these strategies as precise as possible, but also try to keep it vague enough to the point where they can basically work on most bases and they're easy enough to understand. So again, this is for the GoVaHo, which is Golem, Valkyrie, Hogs, and Wizards. It's a good war attack. It's been around for a long time, and let's get started. What we're going to do here is we're going to look at our last war. I'm just going to show you one attack of this on a compressed base because it's basically going to show everything we need to go over for this attack to be effective. And again, this is good for a Town Hall 9. I mean, if you have both your heroes available and you're going against a comparable Town Hall 9 in terms comparable to your base and your heroes and your troop levels, you should be able to 3-star a compressed base like this every time. So let's go into the war log here. We'll look at our last war, which we lost. But we're going to look here at my attack on their number 12. Okay, before we start, let's take a look at this base. Right away, it's not your standard war base for Town Hall 9s anymore. Those are usually pretty staggered. And what I'm talking about here is a base like mine. This is what you usually see now when you're looking at Town Hall 9 war bases. Town halls off to the side, everything's spread out, double bomb locations could be everywhere. GoVaHo works on a base like this, but we're going to cover that in another segment. For now, we're going to look at this base that I attacked, and it's your old standard Town Hall 9 base, what I call a compressed base. Now, looking at this right away, there's a few things we need to know. Town Hall's in the middle, we see that, and we also see there's not a lot of space in there. Everything's compressed, the walls are together, not a lot of space. And what that tells us is the big bomb locations. Looking at this base, there's only a couple places they could possibly be, and they might not even be there. So the only places the double big bombs could be that could destroy your hogs are in the center of the base around the town hall. They could be there, they may not be. There could be Teslas there, we don't know. But if they're not there, then we know the big bombs are on the outside of the base because literally there's nowhere else they can fit on this entire base. So knowing that they're outside the base, that's important to know for when you send your hogs. In other words, you don't want to drop all of them at once. You want to send one or two first and then drop the rest following them. Because if you send all of them at once, you run the risk of them running into the big bombs before they even get into the base. So that's an important note. And number two, what makes this a good base for GoVaHo? Well, the fact that it's compressed. The fact that it's compressed means hogs will work very well on this. So that should go right away when you're making your GoVaHo compilation army, which I'll go over shortly. You want to add some additional hogs because this type of base, you want to use a lot of hogs and you want to utilize good placement of your heal spells. Last thing we want to look at when looking into this base is your initial strike force. Which is the best way to enter? Now, normally 9 times out of 10, and I mean this 90% of the time when you're sending a GoVaHo attack, or almost any attack now, you want to attack on a side that's close to the queen. So in this instance, it would be either the northeast, the north, or the northwest, because we want to take that queen out early. When sending a GoVaHo attack, it's very important you take that queen out because that queen can absolutely decimate your hogs. But in certain circumstances, and when you're confident with your attack, you don't have to attack on the queen side. You just got to make sure your initial strike force can reach the queen and take her out before your hogs can get destroyed by her. And in this instance, looking at this base, I believe I actually attacked on the southwest side. And that was because that was the best way for me to get to the center of the base, and if I knew that I can get my Valks to the center of the base, I knew that queen would come over because tapping on her here, I see that her range includes the middle of that base, and she'll hop over and my Valks will go in there and destroy her, therefore allowing my hogs to come on in. So that's the only reason when you see my attack why I attacked from the southwest side, because I'm going to use a wall breaker to get into this initial section here, and then a jump spell here to allow my Valks to take out all these defenses and the core. And that's more than enough taken out by my initial strike force for my Hogs to come in and clean in the rest. So let's move on to the next part and look at the army compilation for a standard GoVaHo. Alright, let's pause this here, and now let's look at my compilation. Now here's the standard compilation when you're first creating this army. It's 8 to 10 wizards, 10 Valkyries, 1 golem, a max golem in your clan castle, both your heroes, and 10 hogs. That's your initial concentration. You'll have room to add additional troops after that. That's going to depend on the base. Now in terms of your spells, you're always going to want to have 2 heals and 1 rage. And the jump, most of the time you're going to need, but it's optional if you can get in there with wall breakers. But to keep things simple, I recommend throwing a jump in there too, and always use poison spells. You need the poison spells to take out the CC, because I'm never going to recommend that you actually lure that CC. It wastes too much time, and it can actually lead to disaster because the troops try to avoid those poisons at all costs. So looking at this base, with that standard GoVaHo compilation, I actually added 3 hogs, 2 wall breakers, and an archer just to fill. And the reason I added those 2 wall breakers is because I wanted to get this penetration in, since I'm not attacking on the queen side. So I'm going to be attacking from the southwest here, and we're going to go over this point by point. I'm going to pause it several times so I can explain exactly what's going on. And if you see here, this attack's only going to last 2 minutes, so it's going to go very quickly. So before we begin, here's the most important thing when starting this attack, especially with Valkyries. You've got to create a proper funnel. So since I'm attacking here on the southwest side, I need to clear out all of these exteriors before I send in my Valks, or else I risk the Valks circling the base and possibly failing on this attack. Now in order to clear these exteriors, that's exactly what the wizards and golems are for. So I'm going to need to spread the golems out pretty far so I can get my wizards all the way across. And then once all those exteriors are down, then I'll send in the Valkyries so I know they'll go towards the center. Another thing you should notice is these air sweepers on the outside. Now you're thinking, air sweepers? Who cares? We're not even sending any air troops. Well, it is important because I don't want my golem to go this far out there. I want my golems to eventually make it to the center. So in that case, I'm going to send a troop early to destroy those air sweepers. Let's start the attack and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, notice first, I drop a wizard down because I want to clean up those air sweepers so I can get proper placement of my golems. So I'm taking my time here, no rush, because the Valks, they move quick, they'll destroy a base quickly. And I'm not luring a CC, so I got plenty of time. So that wizard's going the wrong way. I'm going to drop another one to make sure I clear out that air sweeper. Once that's down, I'll send in my right side golem. I got them pretty well spread out, so all those defenses, and now I got the wizards out. Let's stop right here. I got all my wizards on the exteriors. That's enough wizards right there. That's all my wizards to take out all those exterior forces, defenses. So when I send the wall breakers in to get towards the center, I'll make sure those Valkyries follow straight down the middle. Now the CC's coming in right now. This is when you deploy your poison spell. You can use 1 or 2 here, but I'm actually only going to use 1 and save the other one for the queen, since the queen is so far away. Now here's another important aspect. I don't let the golems penetrate in right away for several reasons. Mainly, I want to keep the golems spread out for now, so my wizards have time to clean out those outer defenses. Once the wizards start clearing out those outer defenses and they're almost done, then I'll send the wall breakers in so my golems can penetrate the base. I want to keep them spread out for now. It makes things easier later on because your golems will last longer, allowing your Valks and Hogs to do more damage while the golems are tanking. So let's continue now. I'm going to drop that CC, or the poison spell, any second. Okay, now I'm going to send the wall breakers, and actually what happens here is my wall breaker is going to get destroyed. Now that's pretty devastating. That was bad on my part. I should have timed it better. But it's not the end of the world, because if you look, all the exterior defenses have been destroyed. And the closest thing now to the outer side of that wall are these defenses. So if I were to drop my Valks right now, they're going to go straight towards exactly where I want them to go anyways. And Valk can break through a wall pretty quickly, so that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Here come the Valks. They're going to create that hole, and right in the center base. Now, I dropped that jump spell in a perfect location. It's covering 3 entry points, it's got access to the core, and it's got access to these 2 little L shapes over here with 4 defenses which will help my Hogs if they're taken out right now. So let's see what happens. Valkyrie's working on the king. They're about to go towards the center of the base, and this is when you rage them. You want to rage these Valks early because before they take too much damage from possibly bombs or anything else. I'm going to rage them right now. They're going to spread out. They're going to take out the L's, and they're going to move towards the core of the base. Now, usually, I heal my Valks right here in the center because this allows them to send pretty hard attacks. Okay, the queen's evolved now. I poisoned her, and the Valk's going to go up, and they're going to take care of her pretty quickly. Now, if you noticed, I dropped 2 Hogs over here to start. Now, for these compressed bases like this, you do not need to use what's known as precision Hogs. You can basically do a max Hog jump as long as the layout and your initial wave attack has cleared out enough space. But I like to do this initially just to clear up anything extra I can. And usually that cannon was, I thought it was attacking that queen, so be distracted for a while. But nonetheless, those Hogs will take care of that cannon. And look what I have so far. The core is already completely eliminated. And the entire southwest side, there are no defenses over there. So now I know my Hogs will never go over there. They got a nice short path here on the east side where they can do some heavy damage. I got my queen and king over here on the west side. They'll take care of everything here on the north and the west. So I only got this little bit of area very compressed for all my Hogs to take care of. And that one heal spell I have left is more than enough for the Hogs. So, continuing along, I drop in a couple Hogs there, boom. Remember what I was talking about? This guy probably has big bombs on the outside of the base. That's the exact reason I didn't drop all of my Hogs. Those 3 or 4 that I dropped, they're going to take that damage, but now I can send in the rest of the Hogs behind those Hogs because I know they will not be attacked or hit by that big bomb. So those guys are damaged, and now I'm going to drop the rest of the Hogs here. Here they come. And they're going to take out the entire east side of that base. No problem. I'll save my heal spell for when they get towards the wizard tower and down towards those bottom 3 defenses. Wizard's towers actually do a ton of damage to Hog just because of the splash damage. So they're something I always look out for when deploying my Hogs. I make sure they have a clear path towards that wizard tower. So all those defenses are down already. Hogs are going to cross back over. I got plenty of troop. Got both my heroes. They haven't even been touched. And a couple Valks left. And just like that, this base is finished. Like I said, guys, the GoVaHo will work on a compressed base 100% of the time, as long as you plan it out accordingly. So we'll fast forward here. No problem. Plenty of Hogs left. I barely lost any Hogs. And an easy 3-star with the GoVaHo attack. So just to review, here's my troop compilation. 10 wizards, 1 golem, another golem in your war clan castle, preferably maxed. Don't worry about the wall breakers. 10 Valkyries, at least 10 Hogs, both heroes, 2 poison spells, a jump spell, a rage spell, 2 heals, and you're all set. That's all you need. I'm going to review this one more time, real quickly. Couple key points. 9 times out of 10, when you're looking which direction should I attack, you want to attack on the queen side. So here, either attack over here or attack over here, because you want to take out that queen with your Valkyries as soon as possible. That's number 1. Number 2, get your first wave attack, your Valkyries, into the core of the base. You want your Hogs to work in a circular motion, preferably when you send them in. You don't want them going into the middle because that's the danger zone for the Hogs. They're going to be getting hit by defenses on both sides. So you want to make sure you penetrate enough for your Valks to reach the middle and the core of the base. That way your Hogs have free reign to circle around the base, and they'll just dominate and sweep that base in no problem. Much more than that, remember to heal your Valks on the initial core or attack run, and not always necessary, but I usually like to heal my Valks when they're in the core. If they have full health and are not being touched, then don't heal them. Save that second heal for your hogs. But if they're taking some damage and you need them to reach something, like I did, I needed them to reach the queen, go ahead and heal them at the core. Well, I hope my little attack strategy here helped you guys and you learned something from it. Just remember, when attacking compressed bases, a GoVaHo was going to work almost 100% of the time. A base like this is pretty good for a GoVaHo. There's only a couple locations where I can see big bombs. I wouldn't consider this a compressed base, but it's close. Let's look at another one. This one, not quite as good for GoVaHo, but still could be viable. I'll go over that in next week's video. Here, this is a tough one for GoVaHo just because there's a lot of space for the big bombs, but again, plausible. And now we're in Town Hall 8s where, I mean, you can barge this. Alright guys, that's all I have for you for today. Town Hall 9, 3-star attack strategy, GoVaHo, Golems, Valkyries, Wizards, and Hogs. Until next time guys, Manuel's out.